W.F. Howes presents an unabridged recording of The Physics of Climate Change by Lawrence Krauss, narrated by Lawrence Krauss.
For Woody, who convinced me to keep writing. No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river, and he's not the same man. Heraclitus. Forward. Early one afternoon in January of 2020, I found myself sitting alone at the bow of a riverboat, traveling down the Mekong River from Phnom Penh to Ho Chi Minh City. I was finishing preparations for a lecture and enjoying the sunshine and breeze while watching the busy river traffic. Everywhere there were barges relentlessly digging up sand from the river bottom for later use, among other things, as concrete for building products. According to the Mekong River Commission, sand mining has caused the riverbed to lose 1.4 meters of elevation since 2008. As I looked around, I began to feel a growing sense of sadness combined with loneliness. Sadness because the lecture I had just finished preparing for travelers on the boat involved the nature and physics of climate change, with a focus on the potential impact for the Mekong Delta. During my research, I had come to realize how a confluence of factors made this region, home to 60 million people, at least 14 million of whom depend directly on the health of the Mekong Delta, the epicenter of a perfect storm, where even the more conservative predictions of global climate change in the next 30 years may devastate the entire area and the lives of the people who live in it. Many of my fellow shipmates, a few of whom joined me up front as the afternoon wore on, were as of yet unaware of the fragility of the landscape that then surrounded us, and I wasn't eager to burst their bubble later that evening. After the discussion, following my lecture a few hours later, it became clear that while some of the realities were unpleasant, the well-meaning and interested laypeople who had gathered on the boat wanted information to put this global existential issue in perspective. They wanted to figure out how to separate the wheat from the chaff, to see what was at stake, to learn what possible future impacts humanity might and might not be able to affect. That was when I decided to write this book, and I thank my shipmates for inspiring me. I'm not a climate scientist. You may wonder why a particle physicist and cosmologist would wade, literally, into this subject. Because others, whose future depends on the policies governments enact, and who also have to assess the discrepant claims emanating from politicians and the media, are not climate scientists either. If it isn't possible to explain the scientific principles and predictions associated with climate change in a strict...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?